Good morning. We have a very special breakfast with Rufus this morning. We are joined by Mrs. Rufus and said spawn of Rufus. In that spirit, we want to talk about what hog farming teaches us about Milton Friedman, and specifically this book, The Age of Greed, The Triumph of Finance and the Decline of America, 1970 to the present. What I want to focus on is the writings about Milton Friedman. In the background's WQED. I think we're playing Wagner right now, so that adds to the vibe. But in this book, they make the wonderful assertion that Friedman's problem was our problem today, and that is controlling the amount of money in the economy does not by itself drive the economy, because of this nasty little thing called velocity. And if you go to the St. Louis Fed, or you can just Google Fred, velocity of money, you can see that in the United States the velocity of money is in full collapse. This is why kids aren't buying houses. This is why kids can't handle their student loans. This is why mortgage applications, I think, are at a 20 or 30-year low, even though mortgage rates are so low. Now the key here is, in the monetary history of the United States, he argued that velocity was fixed, and therefore the economy could be driven solely by monetary policy. Sound familiar? Clearly this is what quantitative easing, Ben Bernanke, Janet Yellen, and the whole economic system of the United States, particularly since 1980, has been driven on. Milton Friedman is also an important player. You good down here? Friedman was also a very important player in the move off of the gold standard in 1971. But here's the key. Here's a nice line right here. I'll read it to you. I think it's not quite clear. In the 1930s, when Keynes wrote his general theory, monetary policy was not potent because businesses would, as noted, often neither borrow nor banks lend, no matter how low interest rates fell. Sound familiar? So we are stuck in Milton Friedman's fantasy world. Next time we're going to do a darker reading on Milton Friedman in a book called The Shock Doctrine by Naomi Klein. It might be the best book written in the last 15 years about economic theory. And it teaches us much about the war on terror, the Ukraine, monetary policy in this country and around the world, and then most importantly, the formation of the new BRICS bloc for countries to move away from the US dollar and move away from the Western financial system. Milton Friedman always got me as a kind of a guy who likes to make the trough smaller so he can watch the hogs fight.